you ever found yourself lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, just wanting 5 minutes of quiet? Not just silence around you, but the kind that settles inside you too. Maybe it's the TV always buzzing in the background, the clutter on the counter that never seems to go away, or that sense that every day is louder than the last. It's not just the noise outside, it's the noise inside that gets heavier as we age. If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. A lot of us hit a point after 70 where we're not craving more stuff or more busyness, we're craving more peace. The kind that makes your shoulders relax. The kind that makes you breathe deeper. And sometimes, the best way to find that peace isn't through adding things, but through gently letting a few go. That's what this video is all about. I'm going to walk you through 6 simple, heartfelt habits you can start today to create more quiet, more clarity, and more calm in your daily life. And no, this isn't about tossing everything you own or living out of a suitcase. It's about choosing what truly matters and letting the rest fall away. If that sounds like something your soul has been asking for, I'd love for you to hit that like button, subscribe to our vibrant elders community, and maybe even share your thoughts in the comments. We're in this together. So take a deep breath. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore a quieter, more peaceful way of living, starting with one small but powerful change you can make today. Now, imagine opening a single kitchen drawer and feeling a sense of calm. Let's start there. Number 1. Declutter one space at a time. Let's start where most of us can relate, the kitchen drawer. You know the one I mean. The one stuffed with rubber bands, expired coupons, mystery keys, and maybe 3 identical can openers. It seems harmless, but every time you open it, you feel just a little overwhelmed. That drawer, my friend, is more than just clutter. It's a tiny source of stress. And here's the good news, you can change that in 10 minutes or less. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of decluttering that turns your house upside down or has you hauling 10 garbage bags to the curb. I'm talking about one small space at a time. One drawer, one shelf, one windowsill. That's it. That's minimalist decluttering in a way that brings peace, not pressure. Science even backs this up. Researchers have found that clutter in our living spaces can actually raise cortisol levels, our body's stress hormone. And we already know that chronic stress after 70 can mess with sleep, memory, and even blood pressure. So that drawer? It's not just annoying. It's an invitation to reclaim calm. So how do you start? First, choose the spot. Something manageable. Maybe the nightstand next to your bed. Then set a timer for 15 minutes, not more. You're not moving mountains, just clearing a patch of land so you can breathe again. Pick up each item and ask, do I use this? Do I love this? If the answer is no, thank it silently and place it in a donation box or toss it. Don't overthink. Just trust that your peace is more important than that old keychain from a gas station. Marion, a retired nurse I spoke with recently, told me about the joy she found in this. She's 75 and started with her spice rack. Tossed out jars that expired before Obama's first term, wiped the shelf, and kept just the herbs she actually uses. She said, now every time I reach for oregano, I feel like I've got a little bit more breathing room in my day. That's the power of tiny victories. Here's the thing. Every drawer you clear, every shelf you simplify, it's one less decision you have to make tomorrow. It's one more place that feels calm instead of chaotic. And when you start your day by opening a tidy drawer instead of rummaging around in frustration, your whole mood shifts. Over time, this habit builds. A drawer becomes a cabinet becomes a closet. And yet, it never has to feel overwhelming, because you're doing it at your own pace. The goal isn't to win a prize for minimalism. It's to create space in your life that supports who you are now. Someone with wisdom. Someone who deserves comfort, ease, and clarity. So when you finish watching this video, maybe walk over to that drawer. Pull it open. Pick one item and decide, keep or let go. That one decision is the beginning of peace. Coming up next, we'll dim the digital noise that follows us everywhere and discover how a digital sunset can help you fall asleep faster, wake up happier, and enjoy more restful evenings. But first, how did it feel to let go of just one thing? That feeling? That's your new beginning. Number 2, create a digital sunset. Have you ever noticed how the world seems to get louder right when you want it to quiet down? You're settling in for the evening, maybe with a cup of chamomile tea, and suddenly, your phone pings. The news flashes. A friend shares another chain message. Before you know it, your heart's racing, your eyes are strained, and sleep feels far away. That's why this next habit, a digital sunset, is such a gift. Now don't worry, this isn't about giving up your phone or tossing your tablet. It's about gently creating a boundary between your peaceful evening and the endless scroll of noise. And it starts with one simple decision: setting a tech cutoff time. Think of it like turning down the lights in your home to get ready for bed. You're dimming the digital world, so your body and mind can follow suit. Experts suggest turning off screens at least an hour before bedtime, and research backs that up. Blue light from screens can suppress melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. After 70, our melatonin production already declines, so anything we can do to support our natural rhythm matters. So here's how it might look. By 7:30 or 8 p.m., your phone goes face down on the charger in the kitchen. The TV goes off. You switch on a warm reading lamp. Maybe put on some soft instrumental music or turn to a page in that book you've meant to finish for months. That's your digital sunset. George, a 78-year-old retiree in Arizona, shared how this one habit changed his sleep. He used to fall asleep to cable news and wake up 3 or 4 times a night, agitated and restless. Now, he turns off all screens after dinner, lights a candle, reads a chapter from a mystery novel, and does a short breathing exercise. He says he hasn't slept this well since his 50s. And here's something unexpected. Once you unplug, you start noticing the beauty of evenings again. The sound of crickets if you crack a window, the weight of a soft blanket across your legs, the comfort of silence that isn't empty, but full of calm. If you're someone who likes to stay connected, maybe checking in with family before bed, set a specific time for that. Maybe a 6:30 video call with the grandkids, or a 7 p.m. check-in text with a friend. After that, close the digital door. The world can wait until morning. And if you find yourself feeling restless without your screen, try swapping in a new ritual. A gratitude journal is a beautiful choice. Just jot down 3 things you noticed or appreciated that day. They don't have to be big. The coffee was strong. I saw a robin in the yard. I laughed at that silly story Aunt Linda told. Those tiny joys add up, and your brain starts to focus on the positive, not the noise. The idea isn't to remove joy. It's to protect it. Your evening hours deserve peace, not pressure. A digital sunset doesn't take anything away. It simply creates space for quiet, for sleep, and for you. So tonight, when you see that little glow on your phone, pause. Ask yourself, do I really need this right now, or do I need rest more? Then try turning it off, even for an hour. Notice how your breathing slows. Notice how your thoughts settle. That's what peace feels like. Next, we'll head to the closet and simplify not just what we wear, but how we start each day with a clear, calm mind. Number 3, simplify your wardrobe. There's something oddly overwhelming about opening a closet packed full of clothes and still feeling like you have nothing to wear. Sound familiar? We've all stood there, staring at hangers filled with someday outfits, sweaters from 3 decades ago, and shoes that haven't touched pavement in years. But here's a little truth I've come to love. Fewer choices can mean more peace. Simplifying your wardrobe isn't about throwing everything out or dressing like a monk. It's about choosing ease, about making sure every piece you see brings you comfort, confidence, and maybe even a little joy when you slip it on. And most importantly, it's about cutting down the mental clutter that comes with too many decisions. Studies have shown that even small daily decisions, like choosing what to wear, can lead to what psychologists call decision fatigue. And after 70, when you'd much rather be focusing your energy on meaningful things, grandkids, morning walks, volunteering, or just enjoying your time, it makes sense to streamline the stuff that doesn't matter as much. So here's a gentle approach. Start with one section, maybe your hanging blouses or folded pants. Touch each item and ask 2 simple questions. Do I wear this? And do I feel good in this? If the answer to either is no, it's okay to let it go. You're not tossing memories, you're making room for comfort and calm. Helen, 72, shared her experience simplifying her wardrobe after retirement. She used to have a closet full of work blazers and high heels that reminded her of the office, not of who she is now. So she built what she calls her joy capsule, a set of soft, breathable tops, cozy cardigans, a few favorite jeans, and one dress that makes her feel like $1,000,000. She labeled her hangers by season, spring, summer, fall, and found that she looked forward to getting dressed again. Mornings became smoother, and the stress of, what should I wear, quietly disappeared. You don't need a closet makeover or fancy organizers. You just need clarity. Choose your 10 to 15 favorite pieces, the ones you wear again and again, and gently set aside the rest. Maybe you donate them. Maybe you box them up and revisit them in a month. But giving yourself visual space can have a surprising emotional effect. You feel lighter, more focused, And mornings start with ease, not indecision. And let's be honest, how often do we really wear that sequin blouse from 1993 or those shoes that pinch your toes? Life now is about comfort and flow. If something itches, bunches, wrinkles easily, or makes you sigh when you pull it out, it's not serving you. This practice is about dressing the version of you that exists today, not who you used to be or think you might become. Your wardrobe should reflect your life now: peaceful walks, casual outings, family dinners, Sunday brunch, and maybe a comfortable outfit for when inspiration strikes to paint, garden, or take a spontaneous road trip. And if you want a tip that feels like a hug, keep 1 or 2 happy outfits for special moments. Something that makes you feel elegant, festive, or simply radiant. Those pieces deserve space too, not hidden behind the clutter, but hanging proudly where you can see them and smile. So the next time you open your closet, imagine it as a soft beginning to your day, not a challenge to solve. Let it be simple. Let it reflect the life you love now. You've earned that kind of calm. Coming up, we'll talk about silence, not the kind that feels empty, but the kind that fills you with presence and peace. Number 4, embrace intentional silence breaks. Do you remember the quiet mornings from years past? Maybe sitting on the porch before the kids woke up, just the birds singing and the sun climbing over the trees. That kind of silence wasn't empty, it was rich, peaceful, and it's something that still has incredible power in our lives, especially now. Today, life seems louder, even in retirement. The news is always on, the phone keeps buzzing, there's chatter from the TV or radio just to fill space. But what if we made a choice to welcome back a little silence? Not the silence of loneliness, but the kind that feels like a deep breath for your spirit. Embracing intentional silence doesn't mean meditating for hours or sitting stiffly on a cushion. It means pausing. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day. No TV, no music, no phone. Just you, your breath, and maybe a window cracked open to hear the wind in the trees. There's real science behind this too. A 2013 study published in Brain, Structure, and Function found that 2 minutes of silence was more relaxing to the brain than music. Other studies show that brief moments of quiet can help reduce blood pressure, lower heart rate, and calm the nervous system. It's not just nice, it's healthy. Ralph, 80, told me he started a simple routine he calls his reset minute. Every afternoon, after lunch, he sits on his back porch with a cup of peppermint tea. He doesn't bring a book. He doesn't turn on the news. He just watches the trees sway and listens. It's like my whole mind exhales, he said. And honestly, I think that's exactly it. So how can you start? Pick a time when you usually feel a little scattered, maybe mid-morning or just before bed. Choose a cozy spot, a favorite chair, a corner of the patio, or even a park bench on your daily walk. You don't need a timer. You don't need to do it right. Just sit. Breathe naturally. Let your eyes wander or close them if it feels good. And when your thoughts start chattering, which they will, just notice them and come back to the quiet. One viewer wrote in that her silence break happens right before she starts dinner. Instead of turning on the radio or calling someone, she lights a candle, sits at the table with a glass of water, and spends 10 quiet minutes thinking about what she's grateful for that day. It's simple, it's real, and it sets the tone for the rest of her evening. The beauty of silence is that it's always available. You don't have to go anywhere or buy anything. You just have to allow it. And over time, those quiet moments begin to anchor your day. You start to crave them, not because you need a break from life, but because you want to soak more of it in. So even if it feels strange at first, try a silence break tomorrow. One small pocket of stillness. Maybe with your coffee, maybe watching the rain. You'll be surprised how much clarity and calm those few minutes can bring. Now that we've created some beautiful space, how about filling it with something truly meaningful? Up next, we'll talk about how choosing just one treasured possession can lighten your home and lift your heart. Number 5. Choose one meaningful possession. Sometimes, when we sit in our favorite chair and glance around the room, our eyes land on a shelf filled with souvenirs, keepsakes, and gifts we've collected over a lifetime. Each item might have a memory attached, but after a while, all those memories can start to blend into background noise. Instead of comfort, it can feel like visual clutter, a weight we didn't even notice we were carrying. Choosing one meaningful possession isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about elevating what truly matters. You see, our homes tell a story, but like any good story, it's strongest when it's clear and focused. That's why this habit is so powerful, because it allows you to preserve your story while clearing away the echoes that no longer serve you. Start with a shelf, a table, or even a drawer. Look at the items there, one by one. Ask yourself gently, Which of these still speaks to me? Which one brings warmth when I see it? You're not trying to judge or rush. You're listening for that quiet tug in your heart. Carol, 76, shared a beautiful moment with me. She had a glass cabinet full of porcelain figurines, gifts from friends, pieces she bought while traveling, even a few inherited from her mother. But over time, the cabinet just became something she dusted, not something she enjoyed. One afternoon, she sat down with a cup of tea, opened the doors, and really looked. What stood out was a simple gold watch. Her late husband's watch. It had a scratch across the face and was too big for her wrist, but every time she saw it, she smiled. That's the piece she kept. She placed it in a small shadow box and donated most of the figurines to a local senior center thrift shop. It felt like I was honoring his memory without holding on to everything, she told me. And she noticed something remarkable. Her living room felt lighter. And so did she. That's the gift of choosing one meaningful possession. It's not about less, it's about more of what matters. If you're not quite ready to part with everything, that's perfectly okay. Take photos of the things you want to remember. Print them and keep them in a memory album or digital frame. That way, you still have the memory, but not the physical weight of every item. Even better, you can share those photos with your family. They'll learn more about your life and the stories behind each piece. And if you want to pass things on, do it with intention. Call your grandchild and ask if they'd like to have your favorite quilt or recipe book. Write a little note about why it's special. It turns a simple object into a treasure, and it brings connection, not just clutter. One viewer, Henry, mailed his grandson a pocket knife he'd carried on every fishing trip for decades. Along with it, he included a handwritten note about the time they caught a catfish so big it nearly snapped the line. That gift now sits on a shelf in the grandson's college dorm, and it's a story he shares proudly. So if your home feels a little full, try this habit. Choose one item in each room that truly reflects your heart. Let the rest go with love, not guilt. You're not losing anything. You're refining your space to reflect who you are today. Up next, we'll explore how to wrap all of these minimalist habits into a single daily ritual that brings calm and clarity to each new morning. Number 6, adopt a daily mindful ritual. Imagine waking up tomorrow with nothing on your schedule except a moment just for you. Not out of obligation, not to keep busy, just something simple, grounding, and meaningful. That's the quiet power of adopting a daily mindful ritual. And it's one of the most underrated ways to bring peace into your life after 70. It doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's not about meditating for an hour or practicing yoga poses that twist your body into knots. It's about choosing one small, nourishing act that signals to your mind and body, this is my time. This is where I settle in. For some folks, it's a morning stretch by the window. For others, it's walking the same loop around the neighborhood, noticing how the light changes, how the flowers shift with the seasons. What matters most is that it's regular, intentional, and enjoyable. A moment where you show up for yourself, not to achieve anything, but simply to be. Ellen, 74, calls her ritual the gratitude stroll. Every morning after breakfast, she takes a short 10-minute walk around her block. Same path, same time, every day. No headphones, no phone. Just her, the trees, and whatever thoughts come to mind. As she walks, she says out loud 3 things she's thankful for. Some days it's hot coffee, warm socks, and my neighbor's roses. Other days it's deeper. But every day, she says she comes home lighter, more centered, and ready for whatever comes next. That's what a mindful ritual does. It anchors you. You might prefer something quieter, like preparing a cup of tea each afternoon. Just you, your favorite mug, a soft chair by the window, and 5 minutes of stillness. Or maybe you're someone who likes to keep your hands busy, gardening, sketching, knitting, even gently sorting a collection of postcards or letters. Whatever it is, the key is to do it with full attention. Not on autopilot, not while checking your phone, but as a sacred little pause. A moment where you say, I am here. I'm present in this day. And that matters. There's even science behind this. Studies show that daily rituals reduce anxiety, improve focus, and support emotional resilience. Especially as we age, routines that feel grounding can lower blood pressure, enhance memory, and even improve sleep. Because when we treat our time with care, our bodies respond in kind. If you're not sure where to start, think about what brings you peace. Is it a certain chair? A particular time of day? Is there a gentle activity you used to enjoy but haven't touched in a while? That's your clue. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about presence. You might forget one day or rush another. That's okay. The ritual will be waiting tomorrow. A lovely tip I once heard was this: pick a song, a single, calming piece of music that becomes your ritual cue. When it plays, you settle into your ritual. A friend of mine plays a soft piano piece each morning as she writes in her journal. Over time, that music became a signal to her brain: time to slow down, time to breathe. So whether it's a mindful walk, a slow cup of tea, a few minutes with your thoughts in a cozy spot, choose something that feels like a gift to yourself. Because at this stage in life, you deserve that. Now, as we bring everything together in the conclusion, we'll reflect on how these 6 habits aren't just minimalist techniques. They're acts of love toward your space, your time, and your own well-being. So here we are, dear friend, after walking through 6 gentle, life-changing habits that make space for peace, not just in your home, but in your mind, your heart, and the rhythm of your days. It started with that one drawer, the brave decision to let go of the extra and keep what truly serves you. Then came the digital sunset, turning down the volume on the world each evening so your rest can feel sacred. From there, you simplified your closet, not just to save time, but to greet each morning with calm and clarity. Then you welcomed intentional silence, a moment to hear your breath, your thoughts, the world around you. You chose one meaningful possession to treasure, not because it's the only one that matters, but because it represents something that lives in your heart. And finally, you created a daily ritual, your own anchor in a noisy world. Together, these 6 minimalist habits are more than chores or checklists. They are quiet declarations that your peace matters, that your time, your comfort, your inner calm, all deserve care. Now the question is, which one felt like it was speaking directly to you? If just one of these ideas made you breathe a little easier or smile with possibility, that's your cue to begin. And I'd truly love to know. Leave a comment and tell me, which habit are you going to try first? If this video brought you even a small sense of peace, consider liking it, subscribing to Vibrant Elders, and sharing it with a friend who might be craving a little quiet too. Life after 70 isn't about shrinking. It's about gently shedding the noise so you can hear yourself again. You've earned that peace. You deserve that freedom. And I'm so glad we shared this time together.